Okay, so day 53 on the CDT. This was one of those days that happens to all through hikers. It doesn't matter what trail you're on. Every once in a while, you're going to have a day that is basically a day of penance. What I mean by that is we've had beautiful sunny weather for most of the hike. We meaning just the through hikers in general, especially through New Mexico. I think some hikers have been hit here and there with rain in Colorado or snow in Colorado, but for the most part, it's been pretty nice weather. I think I mentioned in yesterday's video, like I was doing a 0 day. I had a Nero and a 0, and the chance of rain on Friday for my Nero was like 60%, 60. The chance of rain on Saturday was like 80%, and then the chance of rain today was also 80%. However, the rain was supposed to diminish as the day went on today. So I think by 3 p.m. it's supposed to go down to like 30%, and then by 5 p.m. it was under 20% with like isolated thunderstorms. The reason why I call today the day of penance is again, we know we're going to have days that just aren't fun, and those are the days that you just have to kind of slog through it in order to appreciate the days where you're not slogging through it. So I haven't had to slog through it. I got spit on, a few times rain-wise, but twice in New Mexico, but both times I was able to get into my tent by the end of the day. And one of the days in Colorado, it spit on me, and at I think a mile, like 25 minutes as I ascended, and then it stopped. But today was true rainstorms, and thankfully they weren't thunderstorms, they were just rainstorms. And when you're on the PC, or on any through hike, I should say, you have to know that, hey, you need to get your mileage in, and if it's not a thunderstorm, let's hike. So you can see I have my rain jacket on. What you can't see is it's actually a darker color than it usually is. My shoes and socks and gaiters are wet. My shorts are wet. The only reason my hair is not is because I had my hood up. So I hiked through 3 rainstorms, one coming out of Creede. Once I got back on the CDT and I was hiking up to the first ridge, I think a 12,000 plus foot ridge, it rained on me again. And then I got over the ridge and I got into the gulch that's between the ridge and San Luis Peak, like the shoulder or saddle of the peak. And I got rained on in that gulch as well. So I didn't really have a chance to dry out until, as I was hiking up to San Luis, the clouds kind of parted. We had not a completely clear sky, but we didn't have the rain falling on us. It was really weird today. Like there was a high level of clouds, and you could see blue sky through those levels, or at that level. And then there were lower clouds that were kind of swirling around and being blown around by the wind. And those lower clouds actually had the rain. Now, I'm sure some people will say, no, that's fog, or, that's just wispy nonsense and you were misted on. No, for some reason, those lower clouds that were getting pushed around in swirling motions by the wind, that's where the rain was coming from. And so you could be standing in, here's a specific example. When I got back to, I was hiking back up to the CDT from Creede, and about 3 minutes before I got to that cutoff point where I would turn back on the CDT, it was clear. Like that, I could see all the ridge, and everything was clear. I could see the small peak to the side of the ridge, and I could see the entire route of the trail. In the 3 minutes that it took me to get back on the CDT, make the right turn, and start heading north, the wind had blown in those clouds, and it started raining on me sideways because the wind was still blowing. And so it it was changing that quickly. So when I say that the wind was swirling those clouds around, you could be in a gulch or on a ridge or whatever that was clean, and you could see like distance-wise quite a bit. And within minutes, you were inside, one of those low clouds, and you were getting rained on. So when I got over the saddle of San Luis Peak, or as I was hiking up to that, it cleared for me, and I got over the saddle, and I was hiking down from the saddle into, I don't think it's Stewart Creek. I think it's the one to the south of Stewart Creek, but basically that drainage. And I got dry, like my raincoat dried, my shirt underneath dried, my shoes were not dry, but they were drying, and my shorts were definitely dry. And I was about a half an hour from where I planned on camping, and it opened up again. So I got wet like a half an hour, like basically a mile and a half away from camp. And so I kind of rushed in here, and thankfully there was a break in the rain. I was able to throw up my tent real quick and jump in, and everything's wet. So today was one of those days where you just know, like, I gotta hike my miles, and I know it's gonna suck, but it is what it is. So tomorrow's supposed to be sunny. That'll be great. It'll be good to make sure everything's dried out. I'm essentially finished with the San Juans. I have, I think, 4 miles to the trailhead down where people that are gonna hike San Luis Peak start. And that trailhead, like once we hit that trailhead and we start hiking across the open space towards the saw wash range, it's really flat. I think it stays around like 10,000 feet, or maybe dips a little bit below and a little bit above, but we're not at high altitude, and it's relatively flat. I remember that section from the Colorado Trail. So we'll see what kind of mileage I can do over the next few days, and I'm kind of sad to leave the San Juans, but we'll see what the saw wash range has for us. We take a little bit of a different route in the saw wash range than the Colorado Trail. We stay west in the Collegiate Peaks, so it'll be interesting to see that side of it. But yeah, rainy day. Like you can, like up above, you can see where the rain's hitting the rainfly. So one of the things that I mentioned, like going into Creede, was my tent. So what's going on with my tent is, and I may have mentioned this, but the seam tape that goes, like there's a clear tape that goes on the seams to make sure that they don't leak. That's pulling away, and it only started pulling away like during this trip, or else I would have replaced it before I left. The zipper in the vestibule is giving me issues. I think some of the fabric is frayed. I've also noticed I have 2 or 3 holes that have formed in the rainfly that I need to repair. So what I decided was the quickest way or easiest way was to contact MSR, because that's who makes my tent, and ask them if, hey, do you by any chance have a replacement rainfly for a 14-year-old tent, because this is from 2008. They do. They're going to ship it to me to the next resupply, which is Monarch Pass, and they believe it's going to fit my tent, and so hopefully when I get there, it's waiting for me. I can verify it fits my tent, and then I'll have a new rainfly, and then we can do the video about like equipment video about my tent and all that kind of stuff, because I know a couple of people have asked about that. So I think that's it for today. Rainy day. We paid our penance. Tomorrow is supposed to be sunny. I think it's supposed to be sunny the day after that. And we have some flat terrain coming up, so we can make up some good miles, and hopefully everything goes well. So tonight, I got to, hopefully the rain stops and I can stretch. I don't want to cook in my tent, like out in the vestibule, so hopefully I can boil some water and make dinner real quick, and then we'll call it a night. Like it's only 5:45, but I don't, after 18 miles and doing like the 3 to 4,000 foot climb out of Creede and some more ascending after that, and then just being in rain all day, I kind of just want to dry out and let everything calm down. So I think I did about 18 miles today. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have any shout outs today. It's more of just a mental game when you go through days like this where you're paying your penance for the beautiful days. So everyone have a nice evening. Thanks for watching the videos, and I'll talk to you folks later.